Welcome to Dream Tale Sleep Stories. Tonight's reading is The Journey of Caffeine. Settle into your bed or sofa and let your shoulders, jaw, and eyelids grow heavy. Inhale slowly, 1, 2, 3, and sigh the air away, allowing the day to fade into quiet dark. With every soft inhale, you invite fresh English phrases. With every gentle exhale, stray thoughts drift farther off. Behind my voice flows a gentle melody, renowned for guiding the mind toward deep relaxation. Keep your eyes closed or follow the captions, whichever feels right. Simply receive the rhythm and resonance of the language. Deep in rest, tonight's phrases will take root like seeds, ready to bloom into stronger English skills with the morning light. When you feel settled, hold that unhurried breath and allow yourself to drift into the tale. The journey of caffeine begins now. And when the story's final line has faded, the music will linger a little longer, carrying you gently, deeper into sleep. The Journey of Caffeine. Deep inside a small coffee bean growing high in the mountains of Colombia, a tiny molecule named Caff was preparing for the greatest adventure of his life. Caff was not an ordinary molecule. He was caffeine, and he had a very important mission waiting for him. The coffee bean where Caff lived was warm and comfortable. He shared this home with many other molecules. Oils that would give coffee its rich flavor, acids that would make it slightly sour, and sugars that would add sweetness. But Caff was different. He had a special power that none of the others possessed. "What makes you so special?" asked Theo, a molecule of theobromine who lived nearby. "I can wake people up," Caff explained proudly. "When I reach a human brain, I can fight against sleepiness and help people stay alert and focused." Theo was impressed. "That sounds like a big responsibility." "It is," Caff agreed. "And today, I think my journey is about to begin. I can feel something happening to our bean." Caff was right. The coffee bean was being harvested by farmers who carefully picked only the ripest, reddest coffee cherries. The bean was then processed, dried, and roasted until it turned a beautiful dark brown color. During the roasting process, Caff became stronger and more concentrated. Soon, the roasted bean was ground into tiny pieces and placed into a coffee machine. Hot water rushed through the ground coffee, and suddenly Caff found himself dissolved in a stream of brown liquid. "This is it!" Caff shouted excitedly to his fellow molecules as they swirled around in the hot coffee. "We're about to enter the human body!" The coffee was poured into a blue mug and carried to a young woman named Sarah, who was sitting at her desk. Sarah was a university student studying for her final exams. She had been reading for hours and was feeling very tired. "I really need some energy," Sarah said to herself as she lifted the mug to her lips. "I hope this coffee helps me stay awake long enough to finish studying." When Sarah took her first sip, Caff felt himself rushing into her warm mouth. The temperature was perfect, not too hot and not too cold. Along with the coffee, he flowed down her throat and arrived in her stomach. The stomach was like a large, churning pool filled with acid and digestive enzymes. Other food molecules were being broken down all around him. Calf looked around and saw bits of the sandwich Sarah had eaten earlier, along with some vitamins from the juice she had drunk. "Welcome to the stomach," called out a friendly molecule of glucose. "Are you new here?" "Yes," Calf replied. "I'm caffeine, and I need to get to the brain as quickly as possible. How do I get out of here?" "You'll need to be absorbed through the stomach wall into the bloodstream," the glucose explained. "It usually takes about 15 to 20 minutes, but some of us caffeine molecules are absorbed faster than others." Calf waited patiently, swimming around in the stomach acid. He could feel the powerful churning motion that was helping to break down the food and mix everything together. Gradually, he felt himself being pulled toward the stomach wall. "Here I go," Calf said as he passed through the stomach lining and entered a tiny blood vessel. The bloodstream was completely different from the stomach. Instead of the slow, churning motion, everything moved quickly in one direction. Calf found himself carried along by red blood cells that were much larger than he was. The red blood cells were carrying oxygen to different parts of the body. "Where are you headed?" asked a red blood cell named Ruby as she floated past. "I'm going to the brain," Calf answered. "I need to help Sarah stay awake so she can study for her exams." "That's wonderful," Ruby said. "But first, you'll probably have to visit the liver. Almost everything that enters the bloodstream goes through the liver for processing. Don't worry though, the liver is very good at its job." As Ruby had predicted, Calf soon found himself approaching a large, dark red organ. This was the liver, the body's main processing center. The liver was responsible for cleaning the blood and breaking down substances that might be harmful. Inside the liver, Calf met many enzymes whose job was to break down different molecules. Some of these enzymes, particularly ones called cytochrome P450, were specifically designed to process caffeine. "Hello there," said an enzyme named Cyto. "I'm here to break you down into smaller pieces that the body can handle more easily." "Wait," Calf protested. "I have an important job to do in the brain. Sarah is depending on me to help her stay awake." Cyto smiled kindly. "Don't worry. I'm not going to destroy you completely. I'm just going to change you slightly and reduce your concentration. About 85% of you will be broken down into other useful compounds, but 15% will continue on to the brain." "Will I still be strong enough to do my job?" Calf asked worriedly. "Absolutely," Cyto assured him. "The amount that reaches the brain will be perfect for helping Sarah feel alert, without making her feel anxious or jittery." After passing through the liver, Calf continued his journey through the bloodstream. He traveled through many different blood vessels, some large and some very small. He passed by various organs, including the kidneys, which were busy filtering waste products from the blood, and the lungs, which were exchanging carbon dioxide for fresh oxygen. As he traveled, Calf noticed that his concentration in the blood was gradually increasing. More and more of his fellow caffeine molecules were joining him as they were absorbed from Sarah's stomach and processed by her liver. "The more of us there are, the stronger our effect will be," explained another caffeine molecule named caffeine, who had just arrived from the liver. "How long does it take to reach the brain?" Calf asked. "Usually about 30 to 45 minutes after the coffee is first consumed," Kaffia replied. "But we're making good time. I think we'll be there soon." The blood vessels gradually became smaller and smaller as they approached the brain. Kaff could feel himself being carried upward, through Sarah's neck and into her head. Finally, he could see the brain tissue ahead of him. But there was a problem. Between the bloodstream and the brain tissue was a special barrier called the blood-brain barrier. This barrier was designed to protect the brain by preventing harmful substances from entering. "How do we get past this?" Kaff wondered aloud. "Fortunately, we caffeine molecules are small enough and have the right chemical properties to cross the blood-brain barrier," explained an older caffeine molecule named caffeine, who had made this journey many times before. "We can pass through special transporters that recognize us as safe." One by one, the caffeine molecules passed through the blood-brain barrier and entered the brain tissue. Kaff found himself in an amazing landscape filled with billions of neurons, the brain cells that were responsible for all of Sarah's thoughts, feelings, and memories. The neurons were constantly sending electrical and chemical signals to each other. These signals carried information about everything Sarah was experiencing, thinking, and feeling. Kaff could see the signals flashing like lightning throughout the vast network of brain cells. "Now comes the most important part of our mission," Caffeine announced. "We need to find the adenosine receptors." "What are those?" Kaff asked. "Adenosine is a molecule that makes people feel sleepy," Caffeine explained. "The longer someone stays awake, the more adenosine builds up in their brain. When adenosine attaches to its receptors, it sends signals that make the person feel tired and want to sleep." "So what do we do?" Kaff inquired. "We block those receptors," Caffeine said with determination. "Our molecular shape is very similar to adenosine, so we can attach to the adenosine receptors instead. When we do that, the adenosine can't attach, and the person stops feeling sleepy." Kaff looked around and could see adenosine molecules floating everywhere in the brain tissue. They looked tired and sleepy, slowly drifting toward their receptors. Sarah had been studying for many hours, so there was a lot of adenosine built up in her system. "There's a receptor," Kaff shouted, spotting an adenosine receptor on the surface of a nearby neuron. He swam quickly through the brain fluid and attached himself firmly to the receptor. It was a perfect fit. As soon as he was attached, the receptor could no longer respond to adenosine. All around him, his fellow caffeine molecules were doing the same thing. They were attaching to adenosine receptors throughout Sarah's brain, blocking the signals that were making her feel tired. "Excellent work," called out Caffeine as he attached to a receptor nearby. "I can already feel the change beginning." And indeed, something was happening. As more and more adenosine receptors were blocked by caffeine molecules, the neurons began firing differently. Instead of the slow, tired signals that had been making Sarah feel sleepy, the neurons began sending faster, more energetic signals. In the part of the brain responsible for attention and focus, neural pathways that had been sluggish suddenly became more active. In the areas controlling mood and motivation, brain chemicals like dopamine began flowing more freely. Meanwhile, back at her desk, Sarah was beginning to feel the effects of Kaff's hard work. "Wow," she said to herself, straightening up in her chair. I'm starting to feel much more alert. My mind feels clearer, and I think I can focus better on my studying now. She picked up her textbook with renewed energy and began reading with much greater concentration than before. The words seemed clearer, and she found it easier to understand and remember what she was reading. Kaff felt a wonderful sense of accomplishment as he remained attached to his adenosine receptor. He could sense Sarah's increased alertness and improved mood. His mission was being accomplished perfectly. How long will we stay here? Kaff asked Caffeine. It depends on how quickly Sarah's body breaks us down, Caffeine replied. For most people, our effects last about 4 to 6 hours. The liver enzymes will gradually remove us from the bloodstream, and eventually new adenosine will be able to attach to the receptors again. What happens then? Then Sarah will start to feel sleepy again, especially if she hasn't gotten enough sleep recently. But by then, hopefully she'll have finished her studying and will be ready to rest. As the hours passed, Kaff remained at his post, blocking adenosine and helping Sarah stay alert and focused. He could sense her working productively, reading her textbooks, taking notes, and preparing for her exams. He also noticed some other effects of his presence. Sarah's heart was beating a little faster than usual, and her blood pressure had increased slightly. These were normal responses to caffeine that helped improve blood flow and oxygen delivery to her brain and muscles. Are these changes safe? Kaff asked Caffeine, who was monitoring the situation carefully. In moderation, yes, Caffeine assured him. Sarah only had 1 cup of coffee, which contains about 95 milligrams of caffeine. That's a safe and effective amount for most adults. If she had consumed much more caffeine, the effects might have been too strong and could have made her feel jittery or anxious. After about 4 hours, Kaff began to notice that his grip on the adenosine receptor was weakening. The liver enzymes had been steadily breaking down caffeine molecules in the bloodstream, and his concentration was decreasing. I think it's almost time for us to go, Caffeine observed. Sarah has been studying productively for several hours now. She's accomplished a lot thanks to our help. Gradually, Kaff felt himself being pulled away from the receptor. The liver enzymes had broken him down into other compounds that would eventually be removed from Sarah's body through her urine. As he was carried away by the bloodstream, Kaff felt proud of the work he had done. He had successfully completed his mission of helping Sarah stay alert and focused during her important study session. Will I ever get to do this again? Kaff asked as he was processed by the liver. In a way, yes, Caffeine replied. The compounds you become will eventually be eliminated from the body. But tomorrow, when Sarah has her morning coffee, new caffeine molecules will begin the same journey you just completed. Each cup of coffee contains millions of caffeine molecules, and each one has the same important mission you just accomplished. Back at her desk, Sarah stretched and looked at the clock. She had been studying for 4 hours straight and had covered much more material than she had expected to. That coffee really helped, she said gratefully. I feel like I understood everything much better, and I was able to concentrate for much longer than usual. I think I'm well prepared for my exam tomorrow. She organized her notes, put away her books, and got ready for bed. As the caffeine gradually left her system, she began to feel naturally tired again. But it was the good kind of tired that comes from productive work, rather than the exhausted feeling she had experienced earlier. Kaff's journey had come to an end, but his mission had been a complete success. He had traveled from a coffee bean in Colombia, through Sarah's digestive system and bloodstream, past the protective blood-brain barrier, and into her brain, where he had blocked adenosine receptors and helped her stay alert and focused. As Sarah fell asleep that night, she dreamed of her upcoming exam, feeling confident and well prepared thanks to the effective study session that Kaff had helped make possible. And somewhere in Colombia, new coffee beans were growing on mountain slopes, each one containing millions of caffeine molecules, just like Kaff, waiting for their own chance to embark on the incredible journey through the human body and help people around the world stay alert, focused, and productive. The next morning, Sarah passed her exam with flying colors, never knowing that her success was partly due to a tiny molecule named Kaff, who had worked so hard to help her achieve her goals. But Kaff would have been proud to know that his journey had made such a positive difference in someone's life. This was the true magic of caffeine, not just its ability to wake people up, but its power to help them accomplish their dreams and reach their full potential. And every day, millions of caffeine molecules like Kaff continue this important work, one coffee cup at a time.